Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
Production origins of the Vidiians. Initially, the Vidiians were intended to be named the Viforans. The name was changed to Vidiian as it was thought that Viforan would be too difficult to pronounce, and it really is. It still sounds like I'm saying B instead of V after countless times of recording this clip. However, they actually did use the name Viforan in the first appearance of the Vidiians during filming of Season 1, Episode 5 of Voyager, entitled Phage. They did alter the audio in post-production to be Vidiian instead of Viforan. Jerry Taylor, Michael Piller, and Brandon Braga had developed the idea that there was a race of organ harvesters in the Delta Quadrant. They were partly inspired by Mayan civilization, Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein, and the bubonic plague. During research for this episode, we stumbled across a television show entitled UFO, which aired from 1970 to 1973, where there was a race of human-like aliens who were abducting humans and stealing their organs to prolong their own lifespan. The makeup department, including the venerable Michael Westmore, decided to use a quilt-like patchwork of different tissues to create the Vidiian skin appearance. This was done to illustrate the wide range of sources of the replacement tissues, and they had used pieces of leftover prosthetics and skin, using spotted talaxian skin, some Kazon skin, and they also had the actors wear contact lenses and dentures to help achieve the decaying, pieced-together look of the species. Vidiian physiology. The Vidiians are natives of Vidia Prime in the Vidia system of the Delta Quadrant. The Vidiians share a similar size to humans and most other species encountered by the Federation. Healthy Vidiians possess a bulge on their forehead with a ridge running down the middle. Their hairline was swept back in comparisons to humans. The biggest thing that sets the Vidiians apart from many other species physiologically is the phage. They were infected by this and were subject to a lifelong treatment consisting of replacing their phage-ridden tissues. The crew of the starship Voyager encountered an organ bank hidden in an asteroid stocked with a menagerie of alien tissues, including a Kazon liver. Their physicians were able to adapt most humanoid organs to be compatible with their physiology, and infected Vidiians were physically weakened and often relied upon slaves to perform manual labor such as mining. Vidiian technology. Vidiian technology is highly advanced medically. Their society had been fighting the phage for millennia and had devoted much of their resources to developing better medical technologies. They had the ability to biochemically alter organs of other species for transplant, split hybrid individuals' DNA and make two people from it. The most advanced tool in their employ is known as the bioprobe. It features a neural resonator to stun the victim, a quantum imaging scanner, and a transporter for beaming organs and other tissues out of their victims. They can create complex holograms and force fields that are able to fool Federation tricorders into believing they are a rock face. Many of their installations were powered using a dilithium matrix, and they are quite adept at deceptive tactics by creating fake dilithium signatures to lure in unsuspecting victims for harvest. Vidiian ships. Their ships were evenly matched with an Intrepid-class Federation starship in terms of their top speed. Two classes of ship were encountered by Voyager during their time in the Delta Quadrant, a smaller design similar in size to the saucer section of an Intrepid-class starship, and another larger one. The larger one is essentially a warship. Heavily armed, it can easily match the firepower of Federation weapons, and in size it dwarfs an Intrepid-class starship, capable of carrying a complement of at least 347 to board alien vessels. They were equipped with grappling arms and drills with airlocks, which can be lowered onto the victim ship's hull and used to board them that way. Their transporter technology was limited, and they could not transport personnel. Vidiian history and culture. The Vidiians were ruled by a government known as the Vidiian Sodality. About 2,000 years before the events depicted in Voyager, roughly in the year 370 CE, they were infected with the phage. Prior to this infection, they were known as a race of artists with a rich culture. As the disease spread through their society, they became obsessed with eradicating it. People afflicted were shunned by society. Social gatherings were heavily restricted to keep the spread of the phage at bay. Keeping the phage from spreading was such an integral part to their society, they had no concept of dancing. Entire professions had developed to serve the infected's needs, such as a Hanada, essentially an organ hunter hired to collect tissues for their employer. Thanks to the gentlemen in the think tank, they had been cured of the phage by about 2375. Thank you so much for joining us and watching an episode of OnSubspace. Please like, share, and comment below if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Trek vids coming up on Subspace.